Hello everyone, welcome back to It's Current Year for another quick battle ladder replay on Excavation side today. I'm playing the Empire up against the Greenskins of Louis Q. We'll jump in and we'll take a look at the forces as soon as the game loads in. So here we go. We've got the Greenskin force here, loud and proud. So out the front, just the stock standard front line of goblins, just to soak up some charges and just be annoying. Backline here of Orc Biggins, which I actually really like in this matchup. They trade well with all Empire infantry, aside from maybe greatswords. You know, decent armor, 50's okay. It's not great, but good weapon strength. They can even do a little bit of a hurt on cavalry and that kind of thing. And they have actually pretty good leadership. So you know, certainly by Greenskin standards. So we've got a unit of also the Night Goblin ROR with their loons, the unbreakable ones, and we've got hidden away in the corner some Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Likewise on the other side, some Spider Riders in the back and some skirmishers in the back here. We also have the Hammer of Gork and a regular Goblin Rocklobber over here, so some nice range pressure. He's going to bring it to me. Obviously the Hammer of Gork does have a discourage leadership effect, so it's good for rerouting things that have come back. It's good for actually, you know, these pieces are actually good for killing cav and that kind of thing, or they can target tightly packed infantry. So they're a pretty cheap, pretty cost-effective artillery unit. Two giant river troll hags. So very interesting. You know, giant river troll hags are a pretty meta pick. So we've got obviously the Odor, Spirit Leech, as well as the Swamp Breath and the Mither. So he's also given the Power Stone to this one, and yeah, it looks like they're identically kitted. So 2 Power Stones, 2 Spirit Leeches, and 2 Mithers. So 2 slowing effects, which is potentially really annoying if you've invested in cavalry. And leading this group of gobos is Skarsnik. He looks like he has taken the, if I can just get him up here, his tooltip. He has taken the Tricksy Traps as well as the Fermented Fungi. So he hasn't taken his Prodder, but he's obviously got that Rampage ability. Again, another sort of just, another thing that messes with your movement and can be used to trap your single entities and that kind of thing, and really get some sniping potential on for the Greenskins. So my front line's pretty cheap. Spearmen to begin with, but we've also got Sigmar's Sons anchoring the line, and I've also invested in 2 greatswords. Wanted some armor piercing, wanted some punch in my front line. I've staggered them back a little bit just in case there's the rusty arrows or a bit of a gun line. Obviously they aren't shielded, so we don't want to take any. You know, 95 armor is nice, but we don't want to take any undue damage. But I dare say the Rocklobbers are going to have a bit of work to do with them. We've got some Demigryph Knights here, and I have some Pistoliers out the front just to be annoying. You know, counter skirmish the invariable Wolf Riders and Spider Riders that you see over here. We've got we had a video on the channel recently with Knights of the Blazing Sun, but I didn't feel like taking Knights of the Blazing Sun, so I made my own with the Warrior Priest. So he's taken the Banner of Eternal Flame. Obviously the Greenskins, you know, the River Troll Hag, which we see here in my opponent's force, Grom, pretty meta picks. So fire damage is pretty decent. But we've also got the melee attack and the damage resistance buffs as well for our cavalry, so to juice up their stats a little bit. You know, if they need to stay in a prolonged combat, the charge bonus is good, but you know, that battle prayer is pretty nice. And we've also taken the Bright Wizard, so he's got a Power Stone himself, Fireball, Cascading Fire Cloak, and Burning Head. Basically just to proc Kindle Flame and make, you know, really multiply the damage output of these guys. We've got Boris in the air. I really like Boris against the Greenskins. They're a fairly low stat faction in general, so his debuffs through the White Cloak, Blood Roar, and Crush the Weak are pretty telling. He's also got obviously his healing, which does allow you to be a little bit more flexible. You know, Karl Franz, obviously a very good pick, but you do want to keep him safe, and usually that means life magic for Karl. So we're gonna sort of just scoot up here, and we're going to have obviously a little bit of a shelling attempt by my opponent here. So I see those obviously rocks fly in, and I'm going to do a little bit of reconnaissance, and we're going to obviously find these Forest Goblin Spider Riders pretty quick smart. But the front line's going to meet. I'm going to identify obviously some pretty crucial targets. So popping his Power Stone here right off the bat, probably just to get some Spirit Leeches down early. I dare say they'll probably go down on the Demigryph Knights. Spirit Leech in Boris is not all that effective, just because he can heal through the majority of it. It is a strong regeneration proc, 8 HP per second. And I see the I'm sort of wary that there might be something here, but I see the Rock Lobber as a bit of a free pick here. As I said, the Demigryph Knights are being Spirit Leeched, and we've got a bit of an exchange here in the woods. Both the Mither being cast there. That's actually a nice cast. Needs to get active with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. But I'm just engaging the goblins with my spearmen. They'll win that eventually. Goblins are still pretty pathetic. And now we're just going to try and hunt the biggins with Sigmar's Sons. They'll do pretty well against the Night Goblins here. But we do manage to rout off the Hammer of Gork, but now Boris is getting a little bit trapped up. Poison meaning he probably is going to have a hard time popping out of this fight. We've got the Demigryphs coming in to put a bit of hurt on the giant River Troll Hag, but right now they're going to come and try and relieve Boris, so we'll check back on him in a sec. Frontline Fighting will go pretty well for me. War is going down though, so the goblins are going to start to hit, and we've broken through the front line with the Warrior Priest, who has Cascading Fire Cloak's gone down on the Knights here, proccing Kindle Flame, so we're actually doing some good damage. Probably need to get them out though. Let the Greatswords do the majority of the work, and being a bit sloppy with these Empire Knights, but a big Burning Head going down. I'll probably get a follow-up with a rear charge there from these Burning... they're not Knights of the Blazing Sun, but Grand Shield of Faith, nice for some damage resistance. As we check back in over here, Boris still going pretty strong. He's going to swoop back down alongside the Demis and just try and get the Hammer of Gork off the field. We know we can then probably push on to the Spider Riders and sort of just ignore the big sort of infantry push over here. The Loons here aren't going to have a great time against Greatswords, but they may have a Fanatic proc. Well, they won't now actually, because they're below half health. The Pistoliers have done some decent work over here. They've actually managed to rout I think the River Troll Hag was routed over in this fight, but I'm just riding dirty now with the Knights. The Bright Wizards tagging along. The Goblins have been ran over the top of, and we do actually see a Night Goblin Fanatic proc go down there. So joining in, trying to just get off the last of the Goblins, but also using our fire damage. And you see how much damage the River Troll is taking. She's not actually in combat with a ton of models at the moment, but another Burning Head just to wear through the chaff of the Goblins. Proc Kindle Flame, like I said before. My infantry over here has done pretty well. The Pistoliers are just being annoying. Mither will... Oh, actually, it's the Spirit Leech going down. Bit of a mistake by my opponent there. No need to overcast that. It doesn't do more damage. It's just increased range. But we are pushing off the Rock Lobbers. But the Forest Goblin Spider Riders have been revealed now, and now it's getting pretty ugly. It's a bit of a pit fight. We've got some Demigryphs back here. We're chasing, actually the Knights here, I believe they were chasing off, the other, no, they were chasing off, I think, just a broken unit of Biggins, but they're going to rotate onto this giant River Troll Hag pretty quick. She's pretty beaten up. This one's a little bit isolated now and fighting Greatswords. Won't be too bad of a fight, but Boris is sort of just, where is Boris? What's Boris doing? The Demigryphs, Empire Knights rather, now can just pressure Forest Goblin Spider Riders. They lack obviously AP. We're bringing back our tattered infantry in. We do have a lot of Orc Biggins here, which are going to be it's a pretty bad fight for obviously Spearmen, but we've got a big lot of battle prayers going down. Lots of damage resistance, and no doubt the other prayer with the increased melee attack will come down soon. Another Burning Head does proc the Kindle Flame, which will be nice on the Knights here with their Banner of the Eternal Flame. And we do see just this Spirit Leech engine here. The giant River Troll Hag will be ferried off the board by my Pistolier. So trying to keep them active. Has sort of reconsolidated a little bit of a fire base back here, and the River Troll Hag did manage to actually break those Greatswords. We don't think we'll see them again. But now we've just got a big sort of blob fight. I don't know if that's a misclick. Cascading Fire Cloak going down on the Bright Wizard. Again, just proccing Kindle Flame as much as I can. You see here, everything in here has flaming attacks at the moment, so they're doing extra damage due to flame weakness. Boris has dropped down and got a nice bit of work into Skarsnik, who's terrified. Hammer of Sigmar's gone down, so his melee attack is absolutely juiced. Goblin and Spider Riders here with the big stat debuffs are going to probably have a pretty hard time getting any work done on Boris, as we see him being reinforced by greatswords. Pistoliers are out of ammo now, but can be used to cycle charge or stop things from coming back from rout, and that will be army losses for the Empire. So pretty decent battle in the end. It was double River Troll Hag is certainly can net you some value, although maybe not on this occasion. Don't know if the Spirit Leeches were constantly popping off of cooldown, but we'll have a look through my force first. So the Knights here, they've sort of got their costs back. They I probably stayed in combat a little bit too long with them on a number of occasions, but they're relatively healthy. The Warrior Priest with if you take Soulfire and the other two sort of passive abilities off to make room for, obviously a Steed and then the Banner of Eternal Flame, he's not super expensive, but you saw in that end fight there, the River Troll Hag came in and couldn't really get much done because everything was doing flaming attacks. You could even send the Warrior Priest off with the Pistoliers, because his Banner of Eternal Flame will give their ammunition fire damage, so they could possibly have sniped off both of the River Troll Hags pretty decently. The Demigryphs sort of were a bit of a backline sweeper, just being annoying, and we did manage to shut down the Hammer of Gork pretty well with Boris. But the Frontline Fighting, Spearmen don't need to do much in this. They tied up the Goblins reasonably well, pushed through Sigmar's Sons, Anchors, the Great Swords. As a whole, this list hasn't, you look at the damage values and nothing's really stood out, but everything has done its bit. Everything's been pretty solid. We managed to snipe Skarsnik with Boris. We managed to get a fair bit of work into the giant River Troll Hags, one by one, and we didn't see a lot of Spirit Leeching. The Fanatics got, I think, one of their casts off. Big Uns are pretty sticky by Orc standards, and they're a good versatile pick in this matchup because, like I said, aside from great swords, they'll do well against most infantry, and they can stand up to cav a lot better than obviously with their anti-large bonus. But I don't know if my opponent was probably as proactive with the Spider Riders as he could have been. Likewise, these two. This one's got some decent value. I think he actually put a lot of damage, or a fair bit of damage, into Boris. But even then, look at the regen. Hammer of Gork got shut down really, really early. The other Rock Club has done reasonably well. Like I said, they're reasonably cheap, reasonably cost effective. So two just solid-ish lists, I guess, going at it. But I've been playing a little bit. He's quite a versatile hero, the Warrior Priest. I think he might be a little bit underutilized. Obviously the mechanic with Kindle Flame proccing and the his ability to give flaming attacks on a mobile platform rather than using Flaming Sword with the Bright Wizard is pretty handy. And obviously then he comes with his buffs as well, the damage resistance and the melee attack boost. So yeah, like Boris in this matchup. I like Empire Knights because they're just cost effective in this matchup. But this also, we have a bit of hitting power in our front line, and obviously Demigryphs can snipe out things like Grom if he's taken, River Troll Hags, do well against pretty much all Greenskin cavalry, and then the Pistoliers were sort of just harassment tools. So yeah, cool game. Bit of a different use for Empire Knights and with the play with the Warrior Priest. So hope you got something out of that, and hope you enjoyed the replay. Until next time, take care.